Hi friends, today we're going to talk about the Baltic Blue Pothos and the Cebu Blue Pothos. And I've been wondering, these two plants look kind of green to me like most plants, so why are they called blue in the first place? We're here to answer this question, and we're also going to talk about the differences between the two plants and where you can get your plant and how much it will cost. So we have the two plants here, and my Cebu Blue is a little bit on the smaller side because right now it's really hard to find a decent price, really bushy Cebu Blue here in Toronto. So this is actually from a cutting, but I'm gonna put a picture here of a real bushy and lushy Cebu Blue. So both these plants are pothos and they are Epipremnum pinnatum. And there is some confusion on the pinnatum versus aureum. I'm not gonna go into this. Right now knows that they're both pinnatums, and pothos like the golden pothos are Epipremnum aureum. Okay, so let's talk about their color because they both look green like most plants out there. But the thing is, as we all know, as we all learned in school, green is actually a mix of two primary colors, blue and yellow. And I'm gonna put a color wheel here, and you're gonna see that we have different shades of green in nature. So the more yellow a green has, it will look like this, more like brightish, yellowish type of green. And if a green has more blue in it than yellow, it will look kind of bluish like this. Not exactly blue, but bluer than other types of green. And that's what's happening with these two plants. So I went ahead and I used a tool called the color picker to look at the pictures of a Baltic Blue and a Cebu Blue, and I actually picked the exact color of the leaves of each plant, and I put it on a chart like this in a color wheel. And you can see they're both more leaning toward the blue. That's why they're called blue plants. The Baltic Blue actually is a color in itself, is a type of blue. So the Baltic Blue is actually this blue color, and it's very close to the green that we have in the Baltic Blue. That's why they put the name of Baltic Blue in this plant. Let's talk about other differences between these two plants. As you can see, the Baltic Blue has bigger leaves, and the Cebu Blue, even the ones that you see in big pots being commercialized as big plants, their leaves rarely get bigger than this in the plants that are being commercialized. And the Baltic Blue is already being commercialized, at least with bigger leaves, which shows that it has a tendency to grow bigger leaves. And another thing that you can notice is that the Baltic Blue already has some fenestrations, and this is a really key feature of the Baltic Blue because most pothos, when they're in nature, when they have like really good conditions and they're really mature, they can all fenestrate, create these splits in the leaves. But it's really hard to have a pothos like that inside our homes because it needs a lot of light. It needs many years of being like tons of sunshine basically. And the Baltic Blues is a type of pothos that can fenestrate a little bit sooner. So it allows for us to have a fenestrated pothos in a house and even to buy a plant that is already fenestrated. The Cebu Blue can also have these fenestrations, but it needs a lot of time, a lot of light, and a lot of maturity to create the fenestration. So that's another difference. Another very interesting thing is about the way they are being commercialized. So if you look for the Cebu Blues out there when they have like 6-inch pots, 8-inch pots of Cebu Blue that is really bushy, they're usually trailing. They have like this big trailing cascade of Cebu Blues, so it's sold more as a trailing plant. And the Baltic Blue is being sold as this very bushy, kind of grassy type of plant when you have like a lot of stems and plants coming out of the same pot. The Baltic Blue can also trail, but I think what's happening is because this is such a newer plant in the market, they didn't have time for them to grow really long and trail. So they just put a bunch of plants together in the same pot to make it look like really bushy like this. But they can both trail like most pothos. Let's talk about the story behind each plant. So the Cebu Blue is a plant that is on the market a little bit longer than the Baltic Blue. And the name Cebu Blue comes actually from an island in the Philippines, the Cebu Island. So apparently this plant is really abundant there, it's everywhere, grows in nature like really big and lush, and that's where it got the name from. And where can you find this plant? So here in Toronto it's a little bit hard to find this plant for sale, but if you go on Etsy you can have a cutting of a Cebu Blue for like $16 or $20. So it's a plant that is a little bit more accessible than other rare types of pothos out there. The Baltic Blue is a very new plant that is coming to the market. I have a video about the 5 rare types of pothos, and I talk about the Baltic Blue. And this plant was really hard to find because they launched this plant this year. It was launched by a big commercial greenhouse in Florida, one of the huge nurseries in Florida called Costa Farms. And they have a whole video, and I'm gonna link it down below in the description. And they explained that they actually found this plant when they were traveling across Southeast Asia, and they brought it to the greenhouse, and they've been trying to propagate the plant for the past years, and they finally got to this. And an interesting thing, they said that they are working in an even bluish version of the Baltic Blue, so there's new things coming. I think this plant is going to be more and more accessible, but for now Costa Farms is the only greenhouse commercializing it. In Canada you can find it at Rona. In the States you can find it at Walmart and Lowe's. I got this pot, 6-inch pot, for 30 Canadian dollars. So it's not something crazy expensive. That's all for the video today. If you like this video, you're also gonna love the Pothos playlist that we made just for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!